Welcome to the episode that was late for work this morning. Today, I talked to you guys about the top 5 ways to open a conversation with a woman. So, today we're talking about the top 5 different ways to open up a conversation with a woman. And opening up the conversation is 95% of the trouble that most guys have. Getting in there, well, what is it that I'm supposed to say? And today, that's what we're going to talk about. So, first of all, we're going to get this out the way. Pickup lines do not work. All right. So, get that out of your head. Whatever old school cat daddy in the red velvet suit line that you're thinking about using on a lady, it's not gonna work. Women have been socialized to the point where they've heard it before and it's not authentic, it's not organic, it doesn't sound like a piece of the conversation. Oh, hey, I've been watching you across the room. Like, come on now, really? Is that really how you start a conversation? Where does she come back with that? Oh, you've been running through my mind all day. Somebody's supposed to be flattered when you say that. I mean, even if a woman came to talk to me like that, I would laugh. Like, are you serious? Like, come on now. You could have been a little more original than that. So instead of using pickup lines, you're looking for a conversation starter. And there are different types of conversation starters. And what that does is that helps to engage the person that you're talking to. It interests the person or persons because a lot of times, if you see a gorgeous woman, she's not going to be by herself. She's normally with a group of friends. Girls tend to go out together to help to protect each other. If she stands by herself, she's going to get attacked by every other guy that's out there in the place. So you have to have a way to approach a one woman or a group of women, and that's what you're looking for is a conversation starter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you there's 5 different ways to open up a conversation, and I'm gonna give you an example of each one. And like I said, you can always tweak or change it up once you understand the basis of the style or the way that you're trying to approach someone. Everything else becomes easy. So, the first conversation starter I wanted to talk about is the direct conversation starter. And it's pretty simple. I mean, all you do is you walk up to a woman and you introduce yourself. And it's preferred by a lot of women because, unlike other ways to start a conversation, there's no gimmicks and there's no trickery. It's simple. You present yourself for better or worse and you start talking to her. Now, the downside to it is after you start your conversation. So you come in, you talk, hey, how you doing? Introduce yourself, shake hands or whatever it is that you decide to do. Then where do you go with the conversation from there? Now you need something else that follows up your introduction to starting the conversation. So, hey, my name is Mike. She tells she tells me what her name is. And now I need something else to talk about. So that one, especially when you're first starting out, it's good. But, the issue that you're going to have is what else do I talk about? And all right. And the second conversation starter that I wanted to talk about today is the situational conversation starter. And this is probably my favorite conversation starter. And the reason that I like it so much is because it is probably the most versatile way to start a conversation. It's easy. You just look for something or an opportunity, anything that's going on around you, and you use that to start a conversation. You're standing in line with a young lady. How tall are you? She's tall. Oh, I'm 5'2". Oh my God, dwarf. You're so little. And then go from there. There's just so many ways to start a conversation that way. Like I said, once you understand the properties of it, just pick something out in the environment and you can begin by talking about it. So the next conversation starter is the drama conversation starter. And it's basically exactly what it sounds like. Girls like drama, guys like drama. So basically, you're taking advantage of the fact that people like drama. So this can be a true story or it can be something that you made up. So, and you can make the story as elaborate or as plain as you want. So if you see a group of ladies there, you can kind of come up like, "Oh my goodness, did you guys see the fight outside? The girls were fighting and scratching, and one of them's breast popped out, and all." You can make the story just about as wild as you want. The wilder the better, because all you're trying to do is get the people that you're talking to talking about the story that you just made. That one works, especially if you're at a club or somewhere where there's a lot of people. I don't think you want to do it at a mall or anything like that, but yeah, it works, especially if you're at somewhere crowded. So the next conversation starter that I wanted to do is the compliment conversation starter. Now, it's not the same as a pickup line because pickup lines are cheesy because they typically just point out physical characteristics. A compliment conversation starter instead points out things that she has control over. So, say you see a young lady and she has on a dress and she just, I mean, you're at a loss for words. But instead of walking up to her and, "Oh my gosh, you look so good in that dress," you can just simply start a conversation by just wording it a little differently. Like, "Oh my goodness, that dress looks amazing." So not only are you complimenting her because that's the dress that she chose, also that leaves a little mystery like, what does he think about me in the dress? As opposed to just blatantly telling how physically you think she looks smoking hot in a dress. And another way to go talk to her, same girl. You could walk up to her like, "Hey, you look interesting. Those shoes show you have a lot of character, though." And like I said, that leaves a lot to it. What does he mean by interesting? You although you still complimented her on her choice of shoes, that opens dialogue between you and her. All right, and finally, our final way to start up a conversation with a young lady is with the opinion conversation starter. Now, you want the question to be something that, they would be interested in. So, here's one. Do you really think that men actually know what women want? And you let them go to town on that. No, here's another one. You walk up like, "Hey, let me ask you a question. Me and my friend were talking, and I was looking up on the internet, and it says that the average American woman is 5'4", 150 pounds, and wears a size 14. I mean, pardon me, but you don't look like a 14." And you just let them go with it, and you kind of chime in. I mean, but the point is, you give them something, you're giving their opinion, and they will genuinely give their opinion back on whatever it is that you ask. All right, let me give you one more. Okay. So you walk up like, "Okay, let me ask you guys this. I have a friend and he's been dating this girl for about 6 months, but he still talks to his ex like every once a week or so on the phone a little bit. Is that okay?" And then you let them talk or, give their opinion on it. All right, and interrupt. "Okay, let me ask you this. Um yeah, they still talk, but he keeps their old pictures and all their old love letters under the bed in a shoebox under the bed. Is that okay?" And boy, is that conversation gonna get heated from that. But that's the basis of what you're trying to do. You just want to give them something to spark conversation, and then you can go ahead and direct it from, channel it to whatever direction you want the conversation to go. But that's going to be the end of the video. Really, I just wanted to show you the basics, like the different ways that you can start a conversation with a young lady. And, I will go through a lot more in depth each one individually. If you have any questions or you have need any answers, make sure to comment or message me. And as always, if you like, make sure you subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys.